Yeah, so we are back at the Fatherhood Foundation of Virginia recording studio. I don't think Courtney saw the little tag on the door over there where it's officially labeled on the outside of the door when you come in.
I saw it.
Yeah.
For us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
It's Fatherhood Foundation recording.
Hold on.
Podcast recording. Oh, here we go.
Yes.
Here we go.
It's a
Now
big reveal.
She
Only to us because no one else listening.
Yes,
can
this
see
is great radio
it.
content.
It is. It is. But
On the side.
It's literally
To the
helped
right.
me find.
Go outside. Go outside the door, Courtney. Good Lord.
It helped me find when I was in the maze to find here.
Yes.
This room. That was my aha. Like,
Yeah.
I made it.
Yes.
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 So I appreciate the sign.
So
It's
the
there.
Fatherhood Foundation is operating out of the U-Crops building here in the fine city of Richmond for the next year or two while the other place was being renovated. And there's this whole floor that's not being used other than by the foundation and some other nonprofit. I forget the name of something homes.
Something, yeah, that was.
I walked.
That was what I was about to say. Some
Yeah.
homes.
I walked into their meeting.
So yes,
Looking for the room.
So there's a lot of empty space before you get to the space that's actually being occupied.
Which I bet this is what a lot of these buildings around the area look like now post-COVID.
For sure. There's a lot of, commercial real estate is just a whole nother topic.
I
But,
know.
some of them starting to bounce back, but I think that's what a lot of it was post-COVID. That's why everybody reversed course on working from home, is because they had all these expensive buildings and leases and empty spaces, and they couldn't offload them.
Right.
And then the city economies took a dive because nobody was going on their lunch breaks to visit the local places anymore. So lots of revenue was being lost because,
And productivity, let's be real.
when
I'm a
worked-
business owner, and I know that I
Yeah.
have to go into my office and leave my home.
That's true. Now, when I'm at home by myself, I'm fine. But when Cindy's working from home and she comes and talks to me 19 times a day, and she'll just stand there at the door, what are you doing? Working like you should be doing.
Right. Well, and the same thing happens. I will say it happens at my office, especially since in real estate, it's such a transient office. If all of a sudden 4 agents come into the office at once, it's like, let's have a whole conversation. And so it's like, stop what I'm doing and let's have office talk or not office talk. So, but I think definitely COVID, I think there was like a whole bunch of studies that talked about the productivity as the company.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy? COVID was like 6 years ago, 5 years ago.
I know. And for some reason, I don't know if it was the recent like crazy weather, but I've been having remember when at the beginning of COVID combos, I was talking to a buyer that came down from, is moving down here from upstate New York. And they came to do a buyer's consult with me yesterday in the office. And we were just talking about COVID and what that looked like. And then I was on a listing appointment yesterday, and they were asking me how long I had been in the industry because they wanted somebody pre-COVID.
That's where we are, pre-COVID and post-COVID.
Yeah, pre-COVID. And because we talked about, and I think we've talked about this even here, that agents that got their license in COVID are having a difficult time learning how to handle home inspections negotiations now because that wasn't a thing.
It wasn't a thing, and it's crazy to think that there were 5-6 years past COVID, and there's still those that struggle. But I also know a lot of agents, veteran agents left, because they were just tired, for one, and then the lawsuit changes and all that stuff, a lot of them said, I'm not changing anymore. And they hung it up.
That was a thing?
Yeah. And then there's just the whole I think we've talked about it before, the whole.
And the lawsuit you're talking about is the NAR.
Yeah.
The commissions.
Yeah. Having to have a buyer forms and all that stuff.
State mandated buyer agreements before you go into a home.
Yeah. And then you take the fact that, again, everything in real estate is 1099, so you can't force anybody to come to training.
Right.
It's just, it's here for you.
Yeah, I think because my before life, after life, I was like a World War II veteran or something. And I just, can scrape by in the world with my grit only.
Yeah.
I thrived.
Yeah.
In COVID. When everybody else was scared, I was like, what y'all scared about? Let's go make some money.
Right. This is fun. We're good.
That's when my crazy was useful.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I don't get scared easy.
No. Speaking of crazy.
Yeah. Let's go. The spring market has arrived.
It has. We were pretty busy before this week, but this week came and we were pretty much booked before Monday ever rolled around. Mm-hmm. And we're at a point where, like, hey, I added another inspector, and I get stressed out during the slow season when we do this because it's like, all right, we got to get out there. And, like, I've, talked to Courtney, met with Courtney. It's like, hey, we got to fill up these schedules, because we got more slots now. And I don't want people to quit because they ain't getting work. And I'm all stressed out.
I know it.
And then it's like, oh, well, we could have done 10 more inspections this week.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
The flux situation with our industry, I was just, excuse me, I'm like losing my voice because I am talking to human beings like nonstop right now, and because of the spring market. It's a wonderful problem to have. So I was talking to our transactions department, which we have a new revamped transactions team at the brokerage. And I went in there, I felt like it was like halftime. I was like a football coach. Mm-hmm. I was like, hey ladies, listen, I know that you were like twiddling your thumbs a couple weeks ago. Yeah. And now you're like, what happened? Because they're not out in the world. They're like in the office just receiving the emails, and it went from 0 to 1,000 overnight. And they're like, what am I supposed to be doing?
Especially because you had that dead period with the ice.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. They were like, we were frozen, and now we were trying to thaw out. Yeah. And now y'all are like, nope. Yeah. Get on out there. And I was like, it was like a pep talk. I was like squatting with my hands out. I was like, listen, I want you to know that you've got this. And I want you to see beyond. Yeah. It's going to slow back down, and you're going to be able to catch your breath. Mm-hmm. But just know, I want to create the expectation that you're going to feel like you're dying every day.
A little bit more inside.
A little bit more inside every day. People are going to be demanding. People are going to be emotional. You're going to get all of the, if somebody didn't plan, you're going to get the kind of the dose of that. Yeah. So let's stick it out. I'm here for you guys. Now let's go.
The best part about that is it's the football halftime speech, but you did it at kickoff. We just started.
I really wanted to be like, come on, guys.
Yeah, we got a few more months of this.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's not like we can hire 3 transactions people right now, because then we're going to be like, in 6 months, we're going to be like, that was good. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, goes back to the lessons learned during COVID. All those tech industries, Zoom, right? Yeah. Overhired by crazy amounts.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, like, what are we doing with all these people?
I know. We can't afford. I wonder if they were W-2, so that would have been like unemployment, right?
Probably. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. So it's and it's funny, since COVID, every year, every market is just different. Mm-hmm. I could say that, we've added inspectors and whatnot, but February was the best February we've had. And March is looking to be about the same. Mm-hmm. So we're going to improve on last year's numbers if things keep going the way they're going. And it's just like before the market, before the spring market hit, it's like you're looking at the world and you're like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Are we going to be steady? Are we going to be up? Are we going to be down?
Right.
Because there's no baseline anymore.
No.
Like I said, every year is different and for different reasons. Mm-hmm. And, we've had a couple of phone calls lately on walk and talks again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For certain locations, we're always going to have that.
Yeah, we are. I think that's the thing now. Especially, it's just the housing shortage in general. Mm-hmm. That's going to be 100 years before that gets fixed.
I offered it the other day to a client. They didn't take it.
To fix the housing shortage?
Walk and talk.
Oh, the walk and talk.
No, I wish that.
Yeah, so I think we can record on how you're going to fix that.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear about this one.
Yeah.
Another day.
Another day.
Another antidepressant.
Another antidepressant is great.
And there's a lot of areas that are still talking about how they're moving into a buyer's market, but it just doesn't feel like that here because, again, all the panic and all the emotions and all the rudeness.
Yeah, I think it's leveling. Yeah. And it just really, obviously, it's the one thing in real estate school that it does convey into actually doing real estate is location. Location drives everything. But outside of that, it is kind of leveling out to where if a home is overpriced, it's sitting. Just overpriced a little bit. Buyers know what they're doing.
It's funny because we live in a subdivision and we got 3 houses in our subdivision. One's been off and on the market forever. Nice house, good location. And our neighborhood's a pretty desirable neighborhood. Mm-hmm. But we've had 2 on the market earlier in the year. They just been setting, and they made the comment the other day about, hey, anybody had any traffic that's listed their house? Because we've had none. And my wife just sold a house fairly quickly.
Was she the first comment?
She was not. No, actually one. Might get in trouble for saying this, but somebody reached out to her and said, hey, just see if you had any advice for us. She's like, I can't because you're under contract with another agent.
Yeah.
There's I know you sold a house recently. She's like, I can't comment.
Correct.
But it comes down, I almost commented on the Facebook post, but I didn't. But it comes down to price. Like, you look at those prices, and like, you're overpriced for the neighborhood. Like,
you've got to have your pricing right.
Yeah.
You've got to have your pricing right. I listed 3 homes last Thursday, and you've got to spend time as an agent, just really put in the time of doing a market analysis, because it's a make or break situation right now. Yeah. If it's not priced right, then you're going to lose your sellers some money.
We have a house in our neighborhood that's priced at $700,000. I don't live in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Our when we refinanced, when rates were, I think we got like 2 3/4 or whatever it was.
Nice.
Our house appraised for $370,000, $380,000. Mm-hmm. So a couple years later, you could probably make a push for $420,000.
Yeah,
if
for
we
sure.
want to list it. And those other houses are probably I think they're a little overpriced, around $450,000. Mm-hmm. That's normal for our neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's a high end.
Yeah,
and
range.
You have a house in a cul-de-sac because they have a separate 2-car garage on a larger lot that's not going to sell.
No.
Not for $800,000, because where are you going to get the comps at?
Right.
There's nothing close by to us that's going to appraise for that.
Yeah.
So there's no way, you made, it's that hard discussion of when you buy a home, and do you do things because you want to do them, or do you do things because you're going to resell it for a higher price later?
That's right.
So at some point, hey, I did all this cool stuff to my house, I want my money back.
Yeah, it doesn't work like
Doesn't always work that way.
Doesn't work like that.
I feel like with that, I was talking yesterday with an agent who's one of their buyers got outbid by 8 other offers in the New Kent area on this house that they were trying to, but they were like, it's rough to get into that area. So I think that they're basing it off of the demand of how
if it's
fast
priced
pace.
correctly. I mean, this is the thing. I was talking to
as to why it's so high.
A seller client yesterday because they are going to be listing their home in a very, very sought after neighborhood. And I said, yeah, you're going to, if we price it correctly, because their neighbor's house had sold and they, your neighbor's, by the way, your neighbor's home sells your home, just to let you know that. So
I was just thinking about Step Brothers.
But so they were like, they had already talked to their neighbor. They were like, they got 15 offers. They waived this and this and this. And I was like, yes, that can be you too.
Yeah.
But not at this price point.
Yeah.
Because buyers, there's a couple of things. Gone are the day that the agent is the only one educating the buyer on the market.
Yeah.
Everyone, AI, their family, the buyer sometimes my buyers know more about the history of the house than I do. And I'm like, I could have gone and found that out, but wow, you really did your homework. I appreciate that.
It's like the whole move that they were doing, trying to get rid of agents in general in the process. Remember
yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Well,
kinda.
Are you talking about
AI stuff?
Oh, the AI. Well, I mean, there's a lot of podcasts about that.
That's a different topic.
Until AI can meet a human being and have a client relationship, then agents need to still be around because...
No, I agree.
I mean, it's just kind of like facts. Like, yeah, AI can write a purchase agreement, can do a CMA, can put out a sheet of disclosures. But until AI can manage emotions and expectations, and can communicate that, then a human agent is going to be necessary.
Hey, they're getting close. My friend uses her AI. I forgot what she named Chat.
A lot of people are using AI as their therapist.
Yeah.
I hear it a lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
And
that's what she does.
It's a little dangerous.
Have you seen Terminator?
Well, no, she'll literally, like, if I don't answer the phone, she'll, like, talk to a chat about whatever issue she's trying to...
I think it's a great supplement. I think it's a great supplement. Like, we were...
It'll make you feel better, I guess.
Said we were going to talk about the emotions that are coming along with the industry and the spring market. Sometimes when I have a contentious transaction, I utilize AI to help me respond professionally. And take the emotion out of it. And that's amazing, but I'm still drafting the message initially, and it's kind of like helping me edit it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
for sure, it does. I use it. The thing with AI, certain programs is the more you talk to it, the more it tailors responses to sound like you, right? So I'll just upload a picture like, hey, need a comment for this for inspection.
Yeah.
And it's to the point where I read it obviously.
Yeah, you need to, because one time it sent my client $100,000 difference response.
Yes.
That made me look like a big W.
Well, I think an agent used AI the other day because they put in their listing the roof is 3-dimensional. All roofs are 3-dimensional.
Yeah, read your AI response before you say
but yeah, so it tailors it to make it, it figures out how you want to sound in these different.
Right. There also is, AI is so new that there's different camps. And, there still needs to be a human that humanizes the AI response.
Yeah.
Because there are clients that are like, I do not do AI, and if you send me an AI response, we're not working together anymore. I have a great example. So I am interviewing like secondary caregivers for Wyatt, my special needs son. And I had a great phone interview with a young lady, and her qualifications were amazing, and talked to her. And then I scheduled the in-person interview, and probably about like 10 o'clock that night, I got a lengthy text message from her that was just a copy-paste AI. And it was, I mean, literally, like, she didn't even, like, change the dash in between, you know what I mean?
So you're not
like
taking the time to do that.
AI tell.
Yeah.
Like, nobody texts in parentheses. Nobody texts in paragraphs.
No.
Where did you get that spacing from? But anyway, she responded and was like, I just talked to you on the phone, and now you're like, sound like an English royal. She's like, after continued thought, I will need to have a pay increase at this amount, and I will need to be paid for my travel time to and fro, for the initial in-person interview. I mean, it went on, and I just simply respond, nice AI, this isn't going to work. You had me at AI.
People, wow.
Because it was just like, ew.
Yeah.
That just threw me off.
Yeah.
Like, we could have had a conversation, and you would have been like, listen, I thought about it, and that amount per hour I'm not comfortable with that.
Sure.
Can we discuss this? And I would have been totally open to it. But I was just like, ew, are you just going to, like, if I come in the door late, because it's me and I'm late.
Yeah.
If I come in the door 5 minutes late, am I going to get an AI, like, talking to?
Right. Yes, you will.
Yeah.
Yes, you will.
So this isn't going to work for me.
Yeah. But it also goes to the point of, when I do marketing classes and whatnot, one of the big things is understanding the different generations, right? There's a lot of people like, well, you know, I don't do Instagram, I don't do this, I don't do that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Or I refuse to text, or I refuse to email. It's got to be on the phone. Cool, but not every generation communicates the same way, right?
Right.
So if you want to evolve and stay in business past a generation,
That's right.
you have to understand how to communicate. And there's going to be people that prefer, and they're all in on the AI stuff, right? Not saying they want you to be a robot, but
Yeah.
They like the hands-off approach, right? I'm an introvert, and if you're telling me I can go see a house without talking to anybody, cool.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm in.
Really?
Right? That's just me. So
Okay.
Yeah.
But then would you be like, all right, I saw the house and I want to put an offer, like, let me call an agent?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Okay, I get that.
But like, because we see these companies like with Open Door.
Oh,
Is that it? Right?
Yeah.
You
We
know?
see how that's going.
Right. But at some point they're going to figure it out because they got the money and they got the private financing to equity firms and whatnot. But again, it's
their
not.
friends aren't selling.
Yeah. But it's not going to, like you said, it's not going to replace agents. But you got to understand there's going to be a segment of the population that's okay with that. That's
sure.
what they want, right?
For sure.
Like, oh, I don't have to meet anybody there. I just go to the app. They send me a code. I go check out the house, and then I'll call an agent. I'm like, hey.
I was thinking about, like, the rental industry.
Yeah, for sure.
That would be money.
Yeah, 100%. So the point is you got to be able to understand, like, if you completely dismiss it, and because there are agents out there that's like, oh, well, I hate
I'm
AI.
not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know? Well, I'll tell you what you aren't doing as well.
Yeah, you're not going to be here in 5 years.
Correct.
Yeah, because it's coming.
Yeah. How's your retirement plan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, again, you're going to weed out certain agents, and there's going to be less business for these 7,000 agents that we have.
Right.
And there's already not enough business for 7,000 agents.
That's right. That's right. I keep telling myself the past 2 weeks, I keep giving that halftime talk to myself in the car that I asked for this.
I asked for this.
I asked for this. I can handle this. And all I can do every day is just show up and do my best. And that's okay.
Do you want to be a home inspector?
I do not.
Oh, okay.
I do not.
I mean, you deal with way more agents as a home inspector, so that's fun.
So, do I? I mean, would I? Because I will say I'm in active sales, and then I also coach agents, and that is giving me life right now.
That's true. Yeah.
That's giving me life right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you.
We're like working. We've gone over that first initial mountain of like, do you trust me? And so now we're like really in sessions, like doing work, and they're seeing growth, and that's good. Yeah, that's a good feeling.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, last year, Britt, Todd, and Logan between 370, 380, and just over 400 inspections each. So that's, we'll call it 390, you know?
Yeah.
So, yes, a lot of those are repeat agents that use us, but that's still 390 interactions with agents, you know? So we could say 150 to 200 different agents.
So what in the last 2 weeks has been your biggest, hey, Sid, can you help me with this? And then finish the sentence from agents because of the increase in home inspections.
Pricing, costs and how to repair things. Are probably the two things in the last few weeks we've been getting phone calls or emails about, clarifying comments, things like that. So I got an email last night clarifying what I specifically, and this is where the buyer's agent's great, super smart, but this is where, like, on the list end, the seller's agent comes in and they find their or the seller anyways. I don't know who found the contractor. We don't recommend the type of repair, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's obvious, like, hey, you just sister the joist, call it a day, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's really just the whoever the licensed contractor per the contract is, they should have that knowledge base on how to properly fix a joist, because it can be multiple different ways, you know? So when I get an email saying, hey, the contractor wants to know how to fix this, you need to get a different contractor.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that was a thing.
All the time. We get that all the time. Like, the contractor wants to know how you want this fixed the right way.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's the right way. And that's not trying to sound like an asshole. It's just there's multiple ways to do it.
Right.
You know, and as a qualified contractor, that if you specialize in that area, then I shouldn't have to tell you.
Yeah, maybe they're calling a handyman.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
That's what that sounds like.
Because when the same contractor is replacing a section of the roof and doing crawl space work.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same person.
Yeah.
You know, and you're asking me how to do all of it.
Right.
You know, like, in my response, I just put, you know, for the roof part, like, well, as my roofer said,
correct.
this is how you fix that.
Even builders have multiple subcontractors. So
and that's the thing. Sense. Like, the builders, you know, going back to what we were talking about earlier, you know, with the craziness of the market and pricing, right? You know, that's the other factor. Like, you go to New Kent, there's new subdivisions. Throw a rock.
For sure.
So you're not competing with other resales. You're competing like, I'm going to pay how much for that house?
Correct.
When I go build a new one for this much.
Yeah, you better have a great lot.
But yeah, builders, they they manage the project.
Yeah.
They don't build a house.
No.
Vine Homes, Main Street Homes, Eastwood, they don't build a house. They take the money and they supervise it.
That's right.
They call the same electrician you're going to call.
That's right.
To do the work. Back to the question is we get a lot of that. Sometimes we get because this is a thing again, I guess it's always been a thing, but waiving anything under, hey, we have a $500 threshold. Can you bump the prices up on that?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which, I mean, for people who don't know, in our area, we as home inspectors, we're not required to, but if you want business, we put cost estimates in the reports.
Yeah.
Because the way the contract's written for real estate is it's up to the buyer to provide cost secure estimates.
Yeah, in that situation,
and somehow it became the
they
home
need to
inspector's
call a
responsibility.
contractor and get a real quote.
Yeah.
And then that would, if they
but
need
we've had agents call us like, hey, the contractor said it's this much. Can you change your price? Like, it's just a lot of extra work. Like, why?
Yeah.
The contractor supersedes us.
Right.
Like, they're actually, like, that's what you take to the seller and say, it costs this much. Give me a credit to fix it.
Yep.
Not what I say.
Right.
I tell people all the time, they're like, how'd you get those numbers? Made them up.
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
How much does it cost on average to rewire a house in Richmond, Virginia from 1920? Mm-hmm. 2,000 square feet, 4 square. This is the address.
Right.
And it'll give me a price. That's what I put in there. Might be right, might be wrong.
Yeah.
It's an inconvenience to us. So, it's the best I can do.
And we're like the only market that does it.
There's like 3 or 4 across the country that does it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, very, very, like when I go to Williamsburg, we ain't doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tappahannock? Nope.
So, and you've been getting a lot of calls from the listing agent.
Yes.
I've heard.
Yes. For the most part, I don't mind talking to, and this is the whole problem when it comes to this
As a listing
process.
agent, I've never called the buyer's home inspector.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. It doesn't happen a ton.
I would call it contractor.
But
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
if I had a
this is
question.
the problem with the process is the 7 degrees of separation. I do the inspection. I give it to you. It goes to the buyers or to the buyer. Then it goes to the list agent. It goes to the seller. You negotiate, and then it goes to the contractor. Yeah. And the contractor's looking at my report, trying to figure out what they want to do. Right. Mm-hmm. Like, so I get sometimes you want clarifying questions, right? Because sometimes our pictures aren't the best, because
right, but I would think that they would reach out to the buyer's agent to ask, hey, can you ask your inspector, blah, blah,
sometimes that happens, but sometimes we get that phone call straight from, and I don't mind talking to them. I'll always tell the buyer's agent, hey, just give you a heads up. I talk to the list agent.
Right.
That way you're aware that a conversation happened.
Right.
Sometimes I don't call them back because it's dumb.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to be honest. Like, hey, I need you to clarify some cost estimates. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Call the contractor.
Right.
Like, if you're negotiating this, you need to contact whoever's going to be fixing this.
Yeah. Don't get me involved.
Yeah, because I don't know. I mean, I don't keep track of what a plumber charges, what an electrician charges, from the Chuck in the truck to Michael and Son.
Yeah.
I can't keep track of that. Do you have any idea in the last 2 years how much an HVAC price has increased?
Oh my gosh, I know.
And then with the changing of the refrigerant?
Right.
Yeah. So I have no idea
what
all that costs right now.
I know.
I sent a inspection I did yesterday morning. So for those that have dogs, don't let your dog pee on your HVAC unit outside.
Oh, no.
It's very acidic, and it will, over time, because dogs pee in the same spot, it will eat away at the HVAC unit.
Oh, wow.
So, and it did. Like the corner of the HVAC unit on the outside, it right through the fins, right? So I sent a picture to my HVAC guy. I was like, hey, what's the cost to fix this? He says, you can fix it, but you might as well just replace that unit.
Oh.
It's like a 5-year-old unit. He said, because it's going to leak at some point.
We're going to see one of those really controversial rehoming posts on Facebook this week. And then he says, and because of the different refrigerants now,
it costs even more to work on a system even a couple years older once that starts leaking. So like I said, I can't keep up with all that.
Yeah.
You know, like, charge what you charge.
Somebody check on that dog.
I know, right? That poor dog. Because he's like, that's what I said. I said, how do you fix this? His response was, get rid of the dog. I'm like, no, don't get rid of the dog. But yeah, we get a lot of, and I get it. I mean, it's overwhelming for agents when there's all these emotions. I did 20 years almost in the fire service, and the emotions in the fire service are nothing compared to real estate. It's ridiculous.
Rough. It is rough.
I had a client yesterday afternoon ask me, she's like, really nice house. And she's like, would you buy this house? I said, I can't answer that. She's like, really? I'm like, I can't answer that. And Dave's like, yeah, he's not allowed to answer that. It's like, that's a thing? I'm like, look, even if it wasn't a thing, I'm not emotionally invested in this.
Right.
I'm hungry. I got to go to a soccer game.
Yeah.
It's cold outside.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about,
right.
Not buying a house.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you don't
yeah.
want my opinion, right? So, and I can't get past the pink couch and all the plants in this house, okay?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a lot of clarifying questions, and you know, especially when the sellers don't like the report, they don't like what we find.
Right.
There's a lot of, well, my contractor said this. All right, we'll go with what your contractor said. Like, we need to change the report. Well, that's not happening. Like,
I was going to read, let's see some of the text messages in the last week or so that I have sent you. In your memory bank, how many boards would you say need to be secured? And then I gave him a multiple choice option. A, 1 to 2.
She did.
B,
I appreciate that too.
Yes. A, 1 to 2. B, 4 to 10. C, burn the motherfucker down.
Yep.
What a beautiful way to write that.
Yes, he said B.
Yeah.
I said, good day, sir.
I really like the good day, sir.
And then he texted me because he knew that this was a contentious negotiation period. He said, are we having fun? Question mark. I said, I doubled up on my recovery meds today.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it's
We should do a segment where we read the text messages, but we might get canceled.
Yeah.
There's some things we can't say.
Yeah. I'm going through them and I'm like, which one is appropriate?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'll stop there.
Well, and that's
I think there was a jail one that I said a while back. Yeah, we'll stop there.
You know,
my cousin, speaking of text messages, and since we were talking about AI earlier, I was on the phone with my cousin the other day, and one of her coworkers said that her text messages like sounded like AI. Like, he was like, "Can you just text me like a normal person?" Because how she texts is she'll be like, "Hello, Sid," and then blah 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 blah, like an email format, pretty much.
Saying that she's not using AI?
No, she doesn't.
I think I'm gonna start texting people like I'm AI now.
Oh, and not even like change from the bold when you do the copy and paste.
Yeah. I'm just gonna start doing that.
Yeah.
Just to mess with them.
Yeah. They're gonna be like, does he know? Yeah,
I'm gonna text Jeff later. Hello, Jeffrey.
Yeah, so she was like, no, that's how my dad taught me to text, because he would always make fun of me for not greeting him in my text messages. So now I greet everybody.
Oh, she's like somebody's grandma that like every time that they text you, they sign off. Grandma.
Yeah.
I do that.
Pretty much.
Ashley Silvera, she'll message me. She was like, what does Logan have next week? And I just respond, hi, Ashley, how are you? I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
That's literally what her dad does to her. So that's why she started saying a little greeting before her text messages to everybody.
That's hilarious.
She doesn't do that to me. She'll send me crickets because I don't respond to her.
Yeah. So you mentioned about the question you asked me. We get that a lot too. You know, how many windows did you see that were fogged up and stuff like that? And another thing people don't realize is sometimes we have an exact answer. Sometimes we don't.
Yeah, for sure.
If I go, because again, we're there for 3 hours or less, and if I go into crawl space and there's 30 joists that are eaten up with termites, I'm not checking 30 joists and I'm not counting 30 joists.
Yeah, I'm getting out.
I want to see, all right, 6 or 7, you're screwed.
Right.
Yeah, and that's where the seller should, or the buyer, whoever, gets that contractor to come in, and they're going to get a full scope of the problem.
Right.
Right. They're going to be the ones who should be counting the joys, because I've come back for re-inspections like, oh, well, and this happens a lot. You fixed the joists that were in the picture, but not the ones that wasn't in the picture.
Right.
And the answer is always, well, that was all that was in the report. No, those were the only pictures.
Right.
But it also tells you in the report to check all of them.
Right.
So back to the drawing board. Yeah.
It's
getting laid.
It's a wild world out there, and it's only heating up.
Yeah. And again, that goes back to 7 degrees of separation, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and people, because contractors don't know how the reports work. They don't.
Right.
As much as they blame us for things, the home inspector should have seen this. Like, they don't know what we do, or most of them, especially if they don't do this on a regular basis, the repair addendum stuff, they don't know how we report or why we took pictures.
Right.
So,
but it's necessary. It's necessary, and that's why AI robots can't be home inspectors. Yeah. And as of to date, we still need human agents.
Yes. But we'll always need human home inspectors.
Yes, we will always need human home inspectors. And I will say I am very glad that I have a background in therapy, because the home buying and selling industry, you really see the you really see kind of like the rawness and the people being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And that's not even when somebody's dealing with a death and having to sell a home or a divorce. Literally just the transaction itself.
It's stressful.
It's stressful.
Yeah. I mean, you have just out the gate, you got somebody combing through every dollar you've received or spent in the last year. Yeah. You know, and questioning you, where did this $17 came from? Well, my Graham gave it to me for my birthday. Okay?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, well, we're going to need 30 days to confirm that.
And then, 2 days before, they go through it again.
Yeah.
And they go, found something, it got delayed closing. You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, when we refinanced, that was a pain. Because like most, we just did it in my wife's name. We did it first part of the year. February,
Did she
March.
also take out a life insurance plan the same day?
Not important.
This is tracking.
And for most real estate agents, that first quarter isn't that busy. So they're like, hey, well, we need, proof of revenue and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, look, we've lived here for 10 years.
Yeah.
We've never missed a payment.
Right.
Never been late.
We don't care.
We're just trying to get a lower rate.
Yeah.
So we can have less of a payment.
Right.
So if we can make the payment at this price for 10 years, we can make it at a lower price.
Right.
So just approve the fucking loan.
No, it doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't.
No.
So yeah, that's just the start of it. And then you see 47 houses and
start blending together.
They start blending together. And then he called me and I just, Kristen asked me yesterday, so what's the good news? I'm like, you didn't hire me for good news.
Yeah.
I'm here for all the bad news.
That's right.
And then the negotiations start. Yeah.
And that's a whole thing.
Yeah. And then it's timelines. God, bring back 14-day inspection periods.
Please.
Because this whole...
Especially with how crazy the market's getting. I
know.
Yeah.
I just read a 12. I'm like, I'm just going to start writing 12, and if they counter, then we'll go for 10.
Yeah.
But because what I'm seeing is buyers, it used to really, unless it was, an older house where we saw it from the beginning, that the home inspector was the only person coming to the house during the inspection period. Yeah. Now, more times than not, I'm getting additional contractors. Yeah. And so I need those days.
Yeah, 100%. I think I've talked about before on the podcast, but Massachusetts passed a law where You can't waive the home inspection. Every buyer has a right to like a 10-day home inspection period.
Yeah.
Right. And then even if you get the home inspection on day 9 or 10 and you need additional, then you get another period to be able to get those additional inspections.
Ooh, how's their emotional situation going
right,
on up there?
Right. So
because I can see some people like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You just did it on day 9.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But I mean, that's, especially in the buyer beware state, like let people have an opportunity to see how they're spending $500,000.
Yes.
You know,
Expectations and communication.
Yeah.
It's really what it all comes back to every single time.
It does. So, but yeah, we're just getting started.
We're just getting started. Not the time to decrease my meds.
Just remember when you call an office to schedule a service, whether it's a home inspection, whether it's termites, whether it's whatever it is, don't yell at the office people because we're booked for the week.
Yeah, you want your service providers to have to schedule you and not be ready to come to your driveway.
Yeah.
There's a little reason for
literally
that.
nothing we can't create more hours in a day. So that's the other fun part about the busy season is how much we get yelled at just for being booked.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Or because we can't get a hold of the client, I'll say, hey, call the agent because we need something, right?
You're right.
I'm too busy for this. Okay, well, we're doing 150 inspections this month. We're not? You know,
But are you too busy?
right? Like,
It's kind of a big deal.
hey, you know,
I'll tell you when you're not going to
thrill.
be busy if you don't manage the home
how
inspection.
about we don't show up?
I get a thrill out of telling people no.
Yeah, she does.
Especially when like we're booked up. Yeah, if they get a little sassy with me, I love no. And
there's
we're
a
not
nice
available for
way.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
There's a nice way
And I
to
just
problem
increase it.
solve.
I
You know what I
increase the
mean?
time.
It's just a problem.
Yeah,
And you
I
just
get it,
need
man.
to
Everybody's stressed out.
Yeah,
and
it's just a
whatnot.
solution that's
But,
needed.
yeah.
And you get better solutions if you are a nice human being.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like
To just be nice.
Just
be
be
nice.
kind.
You're more likely to get me to actually reach out to our inspectors to see if we could squeeze you in if you are nice to me. And it's like, man, like, is there any way? If not, like, I completely get it. I'm messed up, whatever.
For sure.
More than what do you mean you can't do it tomorrow? It's like,
Yeah.
damn, that sucks.
And don't get me wrong, I mean, 90% of the agents we work with, they're great and they're like that.
Yes,
you know,
they
it's
are.
obviously the ones that stand out are the ones that are rude. So,
Always.
I mean, we had a client losing his mind about a month ago because of the automated emails.
Oh
And,
my God, that was. And it's a client that's used us before.
Yeah.
And our emails, like, they haven't. I think the verbiage has changed a little
we
bit.
have one more email to state that we have to have the agreement signed before we
before,
accept
and
payment,
that was
which
it.
is a state law now. Like
But-
it's part of the regulations.
They
the
didn't even-
client signs it, not the agent.
Correct.
Yeah.
I was wondering, am
Yeah.
I supposed to sign this?
No, it's just so you can remind. I need to change the wording in that, but so you can remind the client, like, hey, you need to sign this so we don't lose the.
Can I
instruction.
sign it for the client or no?
I'm told you can.
I can?
I've told agents they can.
Yeah,
And
Does that put
I
any
had-
liability
but
on
I'm
me?
not an attorney. So
That's
don't
what they asked me, and I was like, "Look, if you want this inspection and
Yeah.
your client hasn't signed it, and it's gonna go away, like you."
I don't have an issue signing it.
Yeah.
A
a lot of times just get permission from the buyer, like, hey, do you care if I sign this for you? And they'll
Yeah,
say
right.
But so yeah, Amanda called and was all wound up because of it. I'm like, cancel the inspection. She's like, what? I'm like, cancel the inspection. Like, don't care. Like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna call me all rude and yelling and whatnot.
Yeah, she
And-
ended up calling me about that too.
Yeah, I was like, just cancel it. I was like, okay, I can do that. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I fired an agent before.
Yeah.
You know, because they called and we just did our job.
Right.
And I called and I emailed the client. I said, we love working with you. We appreciate your business. But your agent is to never call my office ever again, or I will report to him.
It's called boundaries.
And the client called the office immediately and apologized. She's like, I had no idea he was like that. I'm like, well, he is.
I love me a good boundary.
Because at that point, I mean, really, when you look at the big picture, because it's easy to get in that tunnel, it's like, oh, God, it's money, right?
Yeah,
You know, what
scarcity.
if we can't fill that spot? But at the end of the day, like, it's one inspection from that one person, because if you're that mad at me, you're never going to use me again.
I was just having this conversation that, whatever your higher power is, I am a strong believer in the scarcity tool is not, from a good place. And sometimes we get stuck on that and we're like, but if I don't, cross over boundaries, if I don't do something that's kind of against my ethical code, then I'm going to lose out on this. And really that is false. And if we just maintain and stay balanced and continue to make the right next choice, then the world and your higher power provides what's actually supposed to be in that place.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And, if you just do things right, it'll be okay.
Right.
Just be nice.
Just be kind.
People. So, that was a good episode that we talked about 14 different things.
Yeah, as always.
As always. So hopefully Todd will listen to this and give us some more constructive criticism.
Yes, Todd, we're waiting.
Yeah.
And we would like it in AI format.
AI format, yes. Todd should work on getting the inspections on time. Let's see if he listens to that. So, see if that happens.
We're gonna create a little fight.
That's right.
Yeah, I know Britt listens to the podcast as well. So
Does she?
Yeah. We were talking about it the other day.
Yeah.
So
good. Yeah, maybe him and Todd and Aaron then could both carpool to the inspections together. Get there on time. So, anyways, I digress.
Until next time.
Until next time.